I want to start out by asking you guys just how many types of sodas you think exist in the US alone. So think about that. The correct answer is over 1,500 types in the US exist alone. So this should show you just how booming this industry has been in our nation. So today we're going to talk about sugar-sweetened beverages, mainly soda, and if you're a fan of these drinks, you may want to listen up because they may soon have a bigger price tag attached to them. So my goal in this presentation is to leave you with a greater understanding of the health effects that sugar-sweetened beverages have on your body and how as a result they may soon begin to be taxed. So I've been doing lots of research over this topic and I've come across 3 credible journal articles that state the main concerns that one should have when looking at the health effects that sugar-sweetened beverages have on their bodies. So today in talking about sodas, we will start with how these sugar-sweetened beverages are linked to obesity. Then we will look at how they are linked to a person developing a chronic disease. And lastly, we'll finish by talking about how they may soon be taxed in an effort to control these health effects. So let's begin with the main health issue regarding SSBs, which is that they are linked to obesity. So plain and simple, sugar-sweetened beverages are not part of a healthy diet. What I mean by this is that sugar-sweetened beverages and juices are a major indicator of whether or not a person will become obese in their lifetime if they have a high intake of these beverages in their diet. So in doing some research, I've come across a credible journal article published by the Department of Health actually, titled Taxes on Sugar-Sweetened Beverages to Curb Future Obesity and Diabetes Epidemics. So this article instantly caught my attention because it states that diet is the leading cause of a person losing weight or gaining weight. So sugar-sweetened beverages are a big indicator of whether or not a person will gain weight in their diet. So to put this into more shocking terms, it is estimated by the Global Burden of Disease that more than 300,000 deaths per year are attributable and linked to a diet high in sugar-sweetened beverage intake. That is crazy. So findings of this article put into a clear perspective by providing just a shocking statistic of just that they are not a healthy addition to a person's diet, and they are a large part of what is causing obesity to heighten in numbers across our nation. So now that you understand how sugar-sweetened beverages are related to obesity, let's look at how they can be an indication of whether or not a person will develop a chronic disease in their lifetime. So sugar-sweetened beverages are a high indicator of a person developing chronic disease such as hypertension, gout, or type 2 diabetes. It has been researched by many health companies and individuals that the majority of the time when a person is documented to have one of these chronic diseases, they almost always have a diet that is high in sugar-sweetened beverages as well. So through doing a lot of research on these diseases and the contributing factors that they have with sugar-sweetened beverages, I've come across an article titled Sugar-Sweetened Beverages and Chronic Diseases. So putting it in the simplest forms of what this article summarizes is that fructose is believed to be the main indication of whether serum uric acid levels will be raised within a person. What happens when these levels are raised in a person is it leads to renal failure and eventually kidney failure, and it is almost always tied to gout and hypertension in a person to whether or not they will gain these diseases. And simply type 2 diabetes is just attributable to a bad diet, unfortunately. So this article summarizes the findings of 8 different studies put together, and it mainly shot out with 1 to 2 servings per day of sugar-sweetened beverages leads a person to a 26% higher chance of getting diabetes in their lifetime, which means that 1 in 4 people will get diabetes if they have a diet that is high in sugar-sweetened beverages. So this is compared to occasional intake, which occasional intake is considered only once a month, which is crazy. So yes, here we have our cure diabetes thing. So now that you guys understand SSBs and how it relates to causing obesity and chronic diseases, let's look at how a taxation may soon be in the books. So a taxation on sodas and other sugar-sweetened beverages has been suggested by governments all across the globe regarding their negative health effects on humans. So this means that governments everywhere believe that their negative effects are outweighing the positive enjoyment of beverages. So I've researched this article a lot because it's something that really interests me, and I've come across an article that summarizes everything very well, and it's called Strategic Messaging to Promote Taxation of Sugar-Sweetened Beverages. The findings from this article stated that sugar-sweetened beverages are gaining attention as a result of their links between metabolic syndrome, weight gain, and type 2 diabetes. So one proposed policy is to tax them. A 2012 national survey stated that 62% of Americans strongly oppose this taxation. However, it is stated that support increases when a tax is related to health concerns. So what this means is that the public is much more likely to accept a possible SSB taxation in the future if it is related to health concerns and is backed up by health data and companies and individuals across the world. People care about their health at the end of the day. So today we've been talking about sugar-sweetened beverages, and specifically we started with talking about how they are related to obesity, then chronic diseases, and lastly we finished by talking about how they may soon be taxed as a result. My goal in this presentation was to leave you with a greater understanding of the effects that these sugar-sweetened beverages have on your health and why taxation may soon be the possible solution to helping this problem. So in this presentation, I've showed you 3 credible journal articles on how sugar-sweetened beverages are often linked and greatly related to these health issues, and then how they may soon be taxed. So ask yourself, what do you think of this taxation? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's a good idea? Is your health worth a few more bucks here and there for these tasty little beverages? It's worth a thought because this taxation may very well soon be on its way.